I have been thinking a lot about trends recently, and it's kind of ironic because on my channel, I don't very often talk about trends. In fact, if you've seen some of my most recent videos, I've talked more about the psychology behind shopping and why you choose the outfits that you do. But of course, being interested in fashion also means for me being very interested in what's trending right now. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today. If you watched my channel previously, you may have seen my spring summer 2025 what girls are actually wearing, I believe it's called, or the what Scandi girls wear in the summer. Today's video is going to be a bit of an updated version of that, if you will. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Louise. I usually talk a lot about personal style and shopping, so if that sounds like something for you, then please feel free to subscribe to my channel or maybe share this video with a friend. You can also follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Louise Wears. So let's dive in. The first one is the combination of Bermuda shorts and funnel neck bomber jackets, or in fact any type of jacket with a high neck. And believe me when I say that I was probably one of the first people to really critique the Bermuda short trend because I just felt that there was something quite performative about it. I don't know why, but I have been proven wrong because there are so many examples of outfits where you wear Bermuda shorts and it just elevates the whole look because it is a quite unexpected choice. I personally really have enjoyed for summer the Bermuda shorts with a little dainty top and just the juxtaposition of something quite feminine with the more boyish looking bottom. There are lots of ways you could go and wear Bermuda shorts throughout the transitional season as well. I think for the office, it's easier to style either denim or tailored Bermuda shorts. The thing that I like most about this combination with the jacket is that you can kind of let the jacket speak for itself. You don't need to make a whole outfit of lots of different pieces. You can just keep the jacket as your top basically and just keep it closed. If the weather allows it, of course. If Bermuda shorts had a top equivalent, I think that quarter length sleeve tops would probably be it, or maybe capri pants, but either way, quarter length sleeves and the boat neck shape of the neckline, there is something quite distinctively old Hollywood about this style. I think of Audrey Hepburn, I think of Grace Kelly, but my brain jumps to the 90s as well, which is an era where I think a lot of like supermodels were wearing this, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a silhouette that manages to feel timeless. I think this top is a good option if you want to show off your jewelry. Maybe you're wearing a lot of necklaces or bracelets, or maybe even like a watch that you like. I find myself also reaching for it in terms of practicality. For instance, when I'm at home and I'm cooking or I'm doing the dishes, the quarter length sleeves are quite easy to wear because they're just not in the way. And it sounds like a small thing, but I think in this era of getting dressed for obviously aesthetics, but also for posting on Instagram, this top just really fits into my daily life. So that is why I personally really enjoy it. As someone who rarely wears tops with a lot of neck exposure or like plunging necklines, that kind of thing, I usually gravitate towards halter neck tops, turtlenecks, crew necks, but boat necks is probably one of my all-time favorites. For those days where I want to look put together, but I don't want to put a lot of effort into what I'm wearing, I usually put more effort into my accessories. If you saw my street style video that I posted this spring, you may have noticed the girl who was wearing a bandana with braids. And I think that ever since I bumped into her, I just think she looked stunning. But ever since I bumped into her, I've also seen this style pop up quite a few times, and it's something about it that just feels really, really cool. And I haven't tried it myself yet because, believe it or not, I actually don't own a bandana, but I will try it because I think if you just pair this with the most basic outfit, it's gonna instantly lift everything. Just wear a white t-shirt, denim shorts, whatever, and you're good to go. And it doesn't even need to be braids either. Like, wear your hair down, just play around with it. I just think with the braids specifically, it looks extra cool. I also think that bandanas are very timeless accessories, and there are lots of other ways that you can wear it, but more on that in another video. Little quick history lesson. The striped shirt was actually one of the first casual separates that Coco Chanel sold back in 1917. And then fast forward to the 90s, and it was Jean-Paul Gaultier who took stripes from casual into evening wear. There is a lot of history behind stripes, and if you want the deep dive, you can read this blog post from Phoebe, and I've linked it down below. Anywho, stripes is a staple piece in many people's closet, I think. At least it is for me. And this summer, I have been favoring a boxy t-shirt and this long sleeve top that I'm wearing right now. I just think it's really the perfect top for when you want to stay comfortable, but you also want to wear something a little bit more fun. Another pattern that I think will be predominantly featured in my closet this August and September will be plaid. Plaid, I think, is a very typical autumn associated pattern because you may associate it with the school uniform or even like the Barber jackets or Burberry, whatever. But I think when it's done with pastel colors, it feels surprisingly fresh also for the warmer seasons. And when I had a little bit of a dig on Pinterest, I found a lot of girls wearing these plaid skirts, which just feels so fun and fresh. And it's more interesting to me than just like a floral skirt. The next one might be a little bit controversial, but for this season, I believe that a cap worn in reverse is actually a lot cuter than a cap worn the right way. And I'm a grown-up woman, so I am fully aware that this might make me look a little bit silly or even childish, but I have seen a lot of examples of people wearing it this way who prove this wrong. And take, for instance, Dua Lipa, who arguably will look good in anything. I'm not saying she's like the best person to compare myself with, but she just makes it look really effortless with denim shorts and a white long sleeve tee. I'm not either completely over the Carolyn Bessette Kennedy rush of this winter, so naturally this image of her also comes to mind when I think about this trend. Generally, I think that the backwards cap is a fun, unexpected way to accessorize if you wear something quite basic, which I usually do, but you want to also add something extra, which I usually want to do. So let me know your thoughts. If you haven't yet sensed a theme in this video, I'll explain it now. So the overarching theme of all of these trends is that they all fit quite well into my outfit formula. So an outfit formula is, if you're not familiar with the term, it's basically a repeatable combination of clothes that you wear that works for you, that you come back to time and time again without having to give it much thought in the morning. So for instance, you might be a jean kind of person who loves wearing jeans. So maybe for you, it's like a pair of jeans and a shirt and a sneaker, and that's your outfit formula, even if you are switching the jeans and have lots of different jeans to choose from. For me, mine is a very basic top, a basic bottom, and then one unexpected element. Usually it's the accessories, and sometimes it's a bandana, sometimes it's a backwards cap, sometimes it's lots of jewelry, and sometimes it's like an unexpected shoe. But this season, my unexpected item has often been layering necklaces, and I have just been loving the way that this looks with especially like a white rib top or a very basic t-shirt. So think different lengths, different sizes, mixing delicate chains with something more chunky. It's just a small addition, but it really does a lot for your outfit. And I think it's a lot of fun to play around with colors and add colors to an outfit that might just be monochromatic. Perhaps it was this article from Vogue about women wearing slip dresses and biker boots that inspired me, but ever since I read that piece, I started thinking about footwear for the season ahead. I love a biker boot and skirt combination, but realistically, it's just not something that I wear when it starts getting colder. And to complicate things even more, lately I have been really trying not to wear sneakers that much because I have been feeling a little bit lazy with the fact that I always choose the same sneakers before heading out the door. So I kind of need a trouser silhouette that actually pairs well with boots or other types of shoes rather than with sneakers. That's where Bootcut comes in. It's the shape that is generally made for boots. And I think that there is something about the vintage feeling to the bootcut trousers that really excites me for the season ahead. I am going to be finishing off this video by talking about 2 items on my wish list, which I thought might be fun to mention. And the first one is the Balenciaga city bag, which I think I've talked about previously. In fact, I actually used to have a Balenciaga city bag in red, but I did actually end up selling that one on Vestiaire because I found the color a bit overwhelming. This really bright red is just a little bit too much for me. What I did love about this bag was the size. It's the small size, and for me it just fits everything I need in my day-to-day life except for my laptop, which might be like the only flaw to this bag because it is a very practical bag in a lot of ways that my other handbags aren't. So I am on the edge of finally buying the black one, and I think I'm gonna buy it for my birthday, which is coming up in September. So stay tuned for that if you care about the bags that I'm wearing. The second piece on my wish list is the Cartier Tank watch, and this one is a little bit more recently added to me because my boyfriend is really into watches, and ever since he talked a lot about watches, I have also been more interested, of course, and this one kind of stuck with me. I used to have a dupe of this watch without really realizing it, but lately I have found myself wanting the real deal. And it's not purely about aesthetics, even though obviously that's part of it. It's actually because I am someone who's very conscious about my screen time, and I have been trying to cut down on my screen time. And just to check the time, I need to check the time on my phone. And I hate the fact that every time I grab my phone, I will see a notification or I will end up doing something that I wasn't meant to do when I just wanted to check the time. So if I had an actual watch on my hand, that would remove that friction. And I don't want a smartwatch. I don't like them. I don't need to track every single aspect of my life. So I just want a regular old school watch, and I think the Cartier Tank is the perfect choice for me personally. So that is it. That is everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed hearing more about the items that I've been loving for August and September this year, from the pieces I'm actually wearing to the ones that I'm saving up for. I would also love to hear your thoughts, if you agree with me, if there's something on your list, or maybe if there's something on the list that I mentioned that you're more skeptical towards, perhaps the way that I was skeptical towards Bermuda shorts. Either way, let me know. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I wish you the best week ahead, and I will see you again next time. Bye!